night with those guys and Wednesday night with those guys, and sponsored by those guys. Welcome everyone. It is Wednesday night with those guys, and as you know, Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those guys. So this is the home where we talk about everything in the drone world and promote the usage of. How's everyone out there doing? It is hump day, middle of the week, and after the 4th of July. I see a lot of people got some fireworks shot out there, Lawrence. But how?
Yeah, Adrian Mateos, how are you, man? Adrian! Visual line of sight, what's up? How are you? Time to Fly says he's listening and lurking in the background. Angie, Lost Adventures, Joby, STM Drones, Matt Bagwell, everyone that came in a little early. How are you? What's up, everybody? And
SJM.
Yeah, SJM was here. How's everybody doing? You got to move your mic a little closer. Wait a minute.
Who? Me?
Hold on.
Why, you can't hear me? Can everyone else hear me?
I can hear you fine now. I just need to turn you up some. I just needed to adjust the level. I'm good now.
I say the same thing about you, but you know, your volume is kind of soft on that side.
All right. Okay. Well, what's up? Happy
Well,
Wednesday.
you know, the same old usual thing here and there. I did want to talk about a few things here tonight that some of them, some might know, some might be interested in. Some of it is, it's some real good information. Take it or leave it, however you want. I mean,
hey, TJ.
I'm just saying, but and others, some of it is a little rehash, and to see where we are right now. Ryan will be back with us soon because I was talking with him on some stuff that's going on. But
yeah, we need Ryan back on here. So if you haven't been following what's going on in the drone world, especially here in New York, he'll be on to explain that, right?
Well, what's happening here in New York is what's happening here in New York. It is what it is, but we're talking about that. I didn't want to mention something about that tonight because we've mentioned it here last couple of weeks about the comments to the left in reference to the rules that were made, rule proposal making of operating in New York or flying a drone. And it's a little odd, the rules that they propose. And like I said, a few streams have talked about it, but it is here in New York, and I've spoken with a couple of people on it, and we spoke about it last week. And like I said, this hearing is coming up this Friday. At One Police Plaza
at 10 a.m.
July 7th at 10 a.m. at One Police Plaza. So it's a public hearing. So if anybody is interested or here in New York,
hey Leonard, as far as I know, I will be there. I know Jeff Norman from NYC 5 Borough. He plans on being there as well. I know there's one or two other people that mentioned coming. I don't know if they are, but here's the link. Well, guys, if you haven't left a comment, don't leave anything weird or with curses in it. They won't admit it. Just click this link here, leave a comment, because it's a shame, Herman. This pisses me off because we have thousands of drone pilots here in New York City alone, and there were only 50-something comments. Now, when this goes through, people are going to say, "Oh, how come it went through?" It goes through because nobody shows up in support.
Well, I mean,
without speaking about what we already know about the case. Without mentioning what we already know about the case. That's what I mean.
Oh, well, as far as this
Cheers, Herman.
What happened?
Well, cheers.
You got a commercial break already?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we gotta do a quick break from our sponsor.
Oh,
once the host enables sharing.
I didn't know you. I didn't.
I figured I would start early since I'm.
I didn't know you were moving ahead of the
Wednesday Night with Those Guys is sponsored by Those Guys.
I'm sorry, I only had to do that. Salute, guys. Avada.
Yeah, all that.
Ooh.
All
right, I'm good.
As far as the hearing is concerned, like I said, it's at that's how it looks when it goes. Okay. Yeah, as far as the hearing is concerned, it's like I said, it's an open hearing to the public. Anybody can
anyone can attend. Yes.
Yeah, anyone can attend. But if you wanted to comment openly, you had to have you missed the deadline for that. I think up until midnight. I don't know. You can get your comments in.
If you wanted to comment openly, you're right. But you can submit comments up until the 6th, the midnight of up until midnight tonight, because tomorrow will be the 6th.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I put the link in the chat, guys. Come on. Even if you don't live in New York, leave a comment on.
Also, there's a link in the description below if you're interested in leaving a comment of any one of the thousands of guys that are members of the NYC 5 boroughs, or the guys that are members of those guys and other New York drone groups. So feel free.
Yeah, please feel free to leave a comment.
And even if you're a member of one of the radio clubs at one of the parks here, please feel free.
Yeah,
because a lot of those guys fly commercially as well.
That's true. If you're 107, you need to speak up. Leave a comment, please. Like I said, I will be there. I'm also bringing my drone.
Oh Lord!
After the court case, I'm going somewhere to fly.
Well,
but if they don't let me in the courthouse with my drone, I'm not going nowhere. So you won't see me in the courthouse. I'll wait outside. But I'm not leaving my drone in.
Somebody outside?
Huh?
Tackle one of them outside.
I'll sit in front of the courthouse. If they say I can't go in the court with my house with my drone,
they don't have a closed circuit for you to watch it from outside.
Jody says do it live on YouTube. Jody, please, you pull out a phone, they'll tase you on the spot in these courthouses. Yeah, I wish we could.
We're live in the courtroom.
Lapel camera, Herman.
The
lapel camera live.
We're live in the courtroom. Oh, there he is. See that? They're sending information back to China.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
Stop fumbling you.
Stop, man, please. All you see is the camera moving like this.
Stop making me tase you.
Yeah, you cannot go to New York City courthouses, Jody, with cameras. Your cell phone is off or on mute.
You can take your cell phone
off. You got to get up and get out. And
that's so odd. You can take your cell phone in there where you can video everything, catch pictures, all kind of witness intimidation. It's your cell phone. But you can't come in there.
In a courtroom. Angie says live in the courtroom as well. See, they're instigating. And I'm not. Yeah, then you'll hear a man tased in courtroom, right?
Then you'll be one of those people on the other side of the room. You see, I told you the peeping Toms.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hope a couple of them show up at the courthouse.
They will be there.
I'm sure they will. They'll have a few. But if you can make it to this Friday, 10 a.m. on the 7th,
that's why.
110
that's why
Plaza.
comments are so important and faces are important, because the people who believe that we're just peeping toms will be there. They will be there.
Well, I'm record. I don't know how much I'll be able to record, but I'll definitely
Karen
with a pen and a pad.
Karen and the other chick Karen and other Karen and other Karen and that other Karen.
You think I don't know.
Down the street.
They will probably have
They will be there.
They will probably, hey, Michael Blaze, they will probably, Herman, have a Karen or two that they paid to be there. You know, a drone landed in front of my car and I hit a tree. You know,
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You're a liar. That'd have been on the news.
You're right. Next.
Yeah.
But anyway, happy hump day to everyone. Hope your week is going well. Here in New York, it's really, really humid out. If you have respiratory issues like I do, you have to stay indoors under AC. But
and drink liquor.
What's up with you? And drink liquor, Avada. This is supposed to last. This is supposed to last through the show.
Right.
It's going to, man. What do you want me cursing at people?
Right.
You're not a peeping Tom. You're a peeping Herman.
No. I don't peep anywhere. I don't look at anybody's windows. I'm not one of those people who bought my drone for that purpose.
Hey, Chris, what's up, Jackson RC?
I hope and believe that none of you here in chat or listening or lurking are one of those people either.
True. But I'm going to keep putting that link. Click on it. Leave a comment on how ludicrous it is to be changing New York laws and killing commerce in New York City amongst 107 pilots.
Although some of the people that do some of the things that they do in Manhattan, in certain places, you don't have to have a drone to see it. You know what I mean, Lawrence?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need a drone to see it. You know, last week we spoke on some stuff too, Lawrence, with the what was it, the Air 3 rumors and the leaks and those pictures and stuff like that came out. And you know, after we did the stream last week, a few more pictures came out, and there was some, you know, all kind of stuff from that one with that was the skew that came out earlier, and then I seen it around again, and then they had, what was it, another one, what was it, the drone and the remote, and everybody was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, this one, but this one here with the skew.
But if you remember, I had told you, and you check it out, that that controller, when I did the review of that drone, I told you, I do believe that when DJI comes out with the second version of that controller,
it would have antenna.
They were going to have outboard antennas on that thing. They had to, because it just did not work well with those antennas, and they knew that from when they did the controller for the Phantom series, when they did the standard controllers.
Of course they did.
Yeah, those antennas like that never worked well with that and the range.
They did know that. They did from the beginning, to be honest.
You know, they showed a whole arrangement of pictures with this, and you know, all of these guys, you know, Deal's Drone and your man there, Igor, they were on it heavy, and they had dropped some more some other pictures where they showed the drone and the controller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had that picture. So the pictures had gotten better, and so now everybody knows
what it looks like.
Right, everybody knows what the drone looks like. It's no secret now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, I guess everybody wants to know when, right?
Yeah, when it is
When?
right. Here's the new controller with it.
Yeah, well, that's yeah, the new RC controller. Not bad, right? With the antennas, right? That's probably all you're getting with it, right?
That's all you need now. People were complaining.
Yeah, that was all it needed. That's all it needed to fix that controller. I mean, for what you're paying for it, not bad,
True.
right?
True. The form factor of that controller and this drone here. Look how tight everything folds in. Just like it folds in under itself. The arms fold in under the arms.
Okay.
It's like on the Mavic.
It's like everything else now.
Right.
Yeah. They've gotten better with the design of the drone.
Yeah, they've slimlined it. I like the way. I like
the antennas tuck in right behind the back of the head. Yeah.
It looks like if the Mavic 3 had a baby, if the Mavic 3 had a baby, that's what it would look like.
Really?
Hey, Frank Rizzo.
Like a baby frog?
Yeah. Frank Rizzo had to leave the control room.
Frank Rizzo
on his phone. What's up, Waypoint, New England?
Waypoint. That is a nice thing. And then you know what popped up recently? The damn box. Everybody was in on this one.
Hold on, Jackson RC wants to know, will that controller work with the Mini or the Mini 2 or the Zoom?
Will it work with the Mini or the Mini 2 or the Zoom? More than likely, as history has shown, I will not say definitely that they'll backdate anything on it, but if it could, farthest back
it would go would be Zoom. The Mavic Pro's Mavic 2 Zoom.
No, not on that controller.
No, you don't think so?
No. Mavic 2, you got to get the smart controller.
Yeah, that's true. That's how far back it goes. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, smart controller. You're wanting stuff that's on OcuSync 3, I get you, to work on this. And this is what I was trying to say to you before. We're coming out with these controllers, and now you coming out with will RC Pro work well with this drone now? Or as the RC Pro reaches limit too.
ASK is right. And where's Lon? So I could say he had a good hunch. It's rumored to be on.
No, check this out. I never said that Lon was wrong.
No.
I just said that why it wasn't a good thing. That was what I was saying. And I never listen. Like I said when he's
I wanted to give him his
backdating,
his credit when due.
Oh yeah, but when he talked about backdating, I was like, history has shown that doesn't work well. Because like I said before when this conversation came up, when they came out with the Air 2S, and they went to the what do you call it, the OcuSync 3, and then they started putting all these other drones out there. When they came out and they said that they were going to backdate the ability for the smart controller to be able to be used with the Air 2S, you got a lot of lag with that drone. But if you put it on the RC Pro, or even on the little gray joint there, the DJI RC, it works well. It doesn't work as well on the smart controller because that controller was designed to be used with the Go 4 app and the drones that work on that app. They may be able to finagle it in software and squeeze it in, but it wasn't intended to be used that way. And that is why I asked the question about the RC Pro. Has that reached its limitation with really only one drone? Because when you bought it to fly it with the Mavic 3. Come on.
Yeah, true. True.
You understand? So that's the only drone you got to get it with. Hey, there he goes.
There's Lon. See, we were hoping to give you credit where credit was due. You said OcuSync 4, and it's rumored OcuSync 4. So,
and I know he heard it. He was
kudos to you, Lon, for
he was listening.
I salute you.
No, hold on, everybody, save the applause. Hold on. I never said that he was wrong. I only said why it wasn't a good idea. You understand? I didn't buy the RC Pro to fly a bunch of minis. I bought the RC Pro to fly, the Mavic 3 and whatever else came after.
Mavic 3, my Air 2S, I fly on it. Yeah, I get it totally.
I didn't know that the Air 2S was the drone that was starting everything off.
Yeah, that's true. That was a major issue. It was the actual processing power, which was why it actually skipped with the smart controller.
Exactly.
And they realized that in the beginning, and they fixed the issue. Anyway, you guys click that like button if you haven't already. Happy Hump Day. Welcome to Wednesday.
If you clicked it already, don't click it again.
Huh?
If you clicked it already, you don't have to click it again.
Yeah, exactly. This is very, very true.
So yeah, this what's going to happen now is going to be very interesting to see what's happening with the house. I think that now with all of the stuff that's coming out now after the Air, the Air 3, I think that the house of controllers can get a little bigger. Because if you buy any more drones, you're just gonna be able to collect more controllers.
Hey Gary, what's up?
And you know what's gonna happen, right? Once guys hear that controller, if it happens, can be used with their Mini 3, and then man, listen.
Yeah.
Poor old girl with no antennas gonna end up
SJM. I always wondered why it was like that. Then you wouldn't have so many different companies out there. Unique always needed a little help. Their problem, they made nice looking drones. And they make decent looking controllers, but their range was like, I don't know what the problem was with their range. The range was like, and they just couldn't find the right transmission system for range, but the drones look good. I've flown Unique drones.
Like that Typhoon H, right?
Yeah. The Typhoon H. I've flown the
had a mini controller was a cockpit.
Huh?
The controller was a cockpit.
But for some reason, DJI has chosen to stay proprietary. They don't want nobody else using their stuff but them. Sort of like Apple, Disney.
Well, a lot of people are like that.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of companies.
A lot of companies are like that. Until you start repairing shit, and then you realize that, they just use the same old junk that the last dude used. Straight up factory parts. Same old junk I can get over here.
This is true. Very, very true.
Cars are like that, mainly.
Getting on with what we were going to talk about tonight.
You know what?
Yeah.
I did. Well, see, here's where you were supposed to have your commercial break, but I know.
I was drinking some scotch and whiskey.
I was drinking that. You know what?
I was like,
Seriously,
let me take a swig.
Talking about what we're going to talk about. Truthfully speaking, a lot of people have been talking about remote ID lately, and they have been very worried about remote ID. And I've seen some of the videos. Oh my God. I have seen some of the videos.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
Whoa.
But
and I've seen, I wouldn't say bad, and rightfully so, people should have their concerns, you know, especially when you realize and figure out and understand and know who and how and how all of this has come about. Is that Gary over there? Yeah, what's up, Gary?
yeah, he came in a minute ago and said, "Did we start without?"
Well, yeah. I get a lot of people's concerns, and don't get me wrong. I don't blast on anyone because they're not here in the United States, because here I am sitting here in New York, and I fly drones here in New York, and they're trying to ban drones in New York. Totally.
Yeah. I mean, right now, if you're not and Herman, we have to go back and find this episode, but you said it years ago, at least 2.5 years ago. New York will come to a time in New York where you won't be able to fly unless you have your 107. And you said it repeatedly.
And I said this
years ago.
Yeah, and I said this, and the reason why I said this was because I remember when I first got into this and I started seeing a lot more people get in and started heating up, and it became an issue was, are you an aircraft or are you not an aircraft? Are you an aircraft or you're not an aircraft? Are you an aircraft or you're not an aircraft? We're not an aircraft, we're not an I'm a drone, it's not an aircraft. And then it became, well, it flies in the air, right? You're an aircraft. Okay, so now, drones right now, as far as where they were 6-7 years ago here in New York, or as far as where it's going to be on September 16th.
What's up, Maddie?
No different than where they were 6-7 years ago.
They're not.
And the only thing that I see happening is that if you are allowed to operate outside of a FRIA, which, as we know, from now back 6, 7, and further on, and 100 or so years, that would be your AMA fields.
Yeah. So if you don't know what a FRIA is,
you know, so
fields that maybe
see, but this is what they not to cut you off once, but this is what they're kind of calling it now. But this is where you had to fly RC before. Law enforcement was very lenient on people flying drones all over the place, truthfully, because technically, once they came up with the 107 certificate, that was the direction and where they were going. Right. And what they were doing was trying to pigeonhole people in certain areas to have to fly in designated areas. Said this before.
They tried. They did try.
Said that again. I say it again now. And this is, and now it's taken to the point where places like here in New York have taken that one step further and superseding what the FAA has come up with.
Yeah.
And trying to do other things. But
my thing is,
neither here nor there.
How come we haven't heard anything from the FAA yet?
Well, the FAA is more like, okay, because you brought it to my attention at one point, and I'm going to sum it up what you told me, even though I'm going to make what you told me even simpler.
Okay.
The FAA is like someone walking down the street. They ignore dog shit until they step in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
So unless it falls in their lap, they don't care.
Yeah, sad but true. You're 100% right. They're not concerned about a drone incident until a drone crashes or hits something. Yeah, yeah.
Or it's reported.
You're right about that.
Or it's reported.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. But seriously, I don't. But those type of things should be taken seriously. And like you said, remote ID. We know remote ID is coming September 16th.
Go there and leave a comment. No cursing, please. Leave a comment. It's a shame. We have thousands of drone pilots across the United States and thousands of drone pilots here in New York, and there were only 50-something freaking comments.
Mm.
Come on, you mean to tell me there's only 50 people who care enough to leave a comment about how they're screwing up the drone laws in New York? You don't have to live in New York either to leave a comment. Just let them know how crazy it is, right?
Well, what I want to talk about is the remote ID thing here.
Yeah, keep going.
Remote ID, right? I mean, like I said, a lot of guys in knocking it, they're afraid of it. I mean, we have, like I said, we've seen some of the videos that's out there, and I actually laugh at some of them because when some of the talk was started years ago, and all of the and nobody was like, come on, nah, man, bro, you wrong. All right, now you talk. Now you're interested.
Well,
no, but I get it. And like I said, God should be and like I said, I don't knock anybody from whatever country you come from, but I'm interested in aviation law because a lot of shit trickles down.
True.
Sometimes the trash that one guy thinks is cool, the next guy might think that trash is cool too. But we've also seen where DJI, right, had a couple of times there was some, there were listings of DJI drones that were remote ID compliant due to firmware updates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was a whole listing of drones that was we've seen the list updated a couple of times as they came out with new drones. Remember that, right? You remember that. You remember that.
Yes, right? I do.
Right. So we know that all of these drones have to be remote ID compliant, right, from the manufacturer as of September, what was that, of last year, sometime like that? Or what was it? That's what it was, right? If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I saw in what was it, over in the DJI forum, DJI forum page. Well, it's what I saw over there was very interesting because on was it July 1st on the forum page of this year, they go into talking about remote ID and mentioning that in accordance to the FAA and requirements by drone pilots, they say drone pilots required to register their drones or the UAS must operate aircraft in accordance with the rules of remote ID beginning September 16th of this year.
Right.
Now, like I said,
modified. So what you're saying is they modified the list.
Automatically. Well, the list had been updated as new drones came out because like I said, the drones, like I said, had to been, as of September last year, had to have been manufactured to have remote ID.
Right.
You know, so anything that was built through what was it? Yeah, had a remote ID was already built into the drone. You understand what I'm saying too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
yeah,
now I don't know if anybody ran out and brought broadcast modules and stuff like that for their drones already before or anticipating remote ID. But from what I saw on the forum, they had a listing of a bunch of drones, and many of them, as we know, like I said, because of when they were manufactured, you know, starting with, like we said, with like the Air 2S and all of that, because that was the drone that, you know, we started throwing junk into. And the Air 2S going down the line all the way through to your Mavic 3 Pro Sin, all of these drones that have come out since then are all remote ID compatible, and you don't have to have a broadcast module. We all know this, as well as many of the enterprise models. Now, what I saw on the forum next was very interesting because a lot of people were confused, worried, and upset and pissed off some. And a lot of people actually sold their shit. I mean, sold their stuff because of the whole remote. I don't know if it was because of remote ID, but some of the drones that were coming out, the newer drones coming out, had all of what they wanted, and maybe it was time for them to upgrade. But what I found interesting was the FPV drone will see a firmware update by August 31st of this year. The Mavic 2, right? Or no, I should say the Air 2 should see update by September 30th.
Right.
And the Mavic 2 Zoom by December 31st. And the Mavic 2 Pro, December 31st as well. And the Phantom 4 Pro V2 by December 31st as well. So those firmware updates will be coming out for those drones, making them remote ID compatible. As far as
by the end of like Lon put, by the end of the year,
by the end of the year,
compliant.
By the end of the year.
And I see what they're doing. But by doing that, they're actually making sure that, of course, your drones that are supposed to go online with the firmware update, make sure those go online the way they're supposed to, and it'll trickle down.
Right.
To other stuff.
And then that kind of saves a lot of guys who were worried about getting
spending $300 for a chip to be
either that or even breaking down and just replacing their Phantom 4 Pro V2 that they were probably using for mapping purposes, you know.
You
know, so by the end of the year, they won't need the broadcast module if they really needed it that bad to, you know, to do it.
Which really might explain why no one was really rushing to come out with a broadcast module, even though they're needed. I mean, right now in the FPV world, from what I understand, there's supposed to be a broadcast module that's about the size of a quarter.
Well, you know,
and then there's a broadcast module that one company we did a story on, I can't think of their name, that for $300 you get a box. It's maybe a 1 inch by 3 inch box, a 1 inch by 2 inch box that you would somehow attach to your bird. Nobody's really busting their ass to come out with these devices.
And watch what I'm gonna show you. If you check it out, right, in the world of accessories, when you go, so let's take cell phones for instance. Cell phones, you go and you go by, you look for check out accessories. You will notice that the hottest and latest phones and stuff like that are the ones that have the most accessories, just like the iPhones and stuff like that, or the best Galaxy and those phones that are out will have the most accessories because the companies that make these accessories know that I can sell that.
Hey, Blind Neil.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
The bargain phone that they give you for free, that guy's not going to make any more accessories and all that stuff for that. I'll show you a point.
Right.
So when you start getting into the drone community and making these modules, see where you're going with what you were saying. But you also got to think about the fact of this. Since you've been flying drones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think real hard and think. How many of those companies are still around producing consumer drones?
Not a lot.
So what chance are you going to take on trying to come out with something that you don't even know if it's going to be here tomorrow?
True. New technology.
Because that's the way it's going. And with all of these companies having to be compliant with having to have that broadcast anyway, where was I going to go with it? With all of the older stuff? These companies are turning these things over so quickly now.
The Air, actually, Waypoint England, the Air 2 will be updated, but it won't be updated until later on in the year. So
yeah,
it's
September.
Yeah.
The end of September. It's not that long.
It's not. It really isn't. My thing is they're doing it in order. That's a lot of software to convert over, and that's a lot of firmware. I'm sure they've had the firmware written and tested already. And because and you want to know how I know that they have?
Well, it already broadcast this stuff. It just didn't do it in the way they needed it done.
You want to know how I know my drone is ready? My Mavic 3 is ready? Because when I start my controller, which I cut my controller on first, and then I cut the drone on. If you look in the upper corner where it says it's clear to take off, it says remote ID error. It'll flash that for a second or two, and then that'll go away, and then a regular message will come up. So these drones are ready. It's just a matter of
even when you're not connected to the internet.
Yep, even when you're not connected to the internet, you see that remote ID error.
Now, when you connected to the internet, do you see that remote ID error?
No, it doesn't come up. It doesn't come up. Nope, it doesn't come up. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I noticed that. I noticed that a long time ago.
Yeah. Well. See, I just got my remote, so I'm just
when it's connected.
I'm seeing these things. But you pointed it out to me, and I saw it. You pointed it out to me, and I saw it on the RC controller.
Mm-hmm.
When I was flying with my Mavic 3 with the RC controller.
Yeah, that controller's a little weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope they change that on the new one. That when you connect it to the internet, it bumps you off of it at takeoff.
Oh, yeah.
You got to connect back to it.
Well, I don't have that problem. Yeah, I thought that was weird that they do that. With the RC, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, with the RC controller with the screen, the RC1, let's just say RC controller, when you connect to your drone and you connect to your hotspot or Wi-Fi, and you start the drone, as soon as you arm the drone, your Wi-Fi disconnects and you have to reconnect your Wi-Fi. I mean, you don't have to because it's cached in memory, but I would highly suggest you reconnect your Wi-Fi to stay accurate and updated.
And don't get that remote ID error.
I get it, Lon. I get what you're saying, but living in New York, it's good to have a solid internet connection for your mapping.
So they could track you.
There's a lot, yeah, that too.
See what
There's a
kind
lot
of
of
jockey shorts
multi-pathing.
you wearing.
There's a lot of multi-pathing, Herman. You know, flying around buildings and stuff.
Let's see what kind of shorts you wearing. What
Oh,
color socks you got on.
I'm waiting to see Friday, the one who says, yeah, and they look through my window every night. so I can go cuckoo, cuckoo.
They're gonna throw you out.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because there's nothing wrong with his crazy ass.
Right, of course. But we'll be there. Anyway, getting back to this remote ID thing, they've updated the list for drones. So the older your drone, you're just gonna have to wait a little longer before your remote ID firmware update kicks in. Nothing to fret about. In fact, when it kicks in, you probably won't even remember the date. You'll be like, oh, there's an update for my drone. And then you'll have remote ID and won't even realize it.
Shoot, by then, you'll be public enemy #1 here in New York City.
Touche. Touche. Here in New York City, right? Especially. But I know people want to comply, just like people didn't want to comply with Lance or Lance, whatever you want to call it. You remember, stop it. They were all, they're not going to tell me how high I could fly. If I never fly higher than the trees, why do I need Lance authorization and this and that? And if I'm flying from this end of my field to that field, why do I need it? How many millions of people use Lance now?
Well,
millions upon millions of people use Lance every year.
Well, I know this.
The numbers triple.
If they learned anything from Lance, they learned a lot more than what they were getting from the airport. Because right now, the guy that used to answer the phone at the airport is getting a certificate for the amount of Lance approvals they get here in the city. Those used to be all his phone calls.
Jim's droning. How are you? I remember. You remember we used to have to call the airports here?
You don't call now. He's on shift right now. Don't call right now.
There's actually an air traffic control tower operator in JFK Airport that became famous on YouTube for telling drone pilots, "No, you don't have authorization to fly," because he actually got to the point where he was doing it just on spite to get views on YouTube. You remember the character?
Hey, Jim's Jonah, what's up?
Hey, Bill, coast to coast, how are you?
Bill.
But he worked at JFK, and it was almost guaranteed that if he was on, he was going to be disrespectful and come to find out he was doing it all for YouTube.
No, yeah, you're one of your peoples.
You got to be one of my people. See,
nobody I know would do
Avada.
Like that.
See, I still have Avada.
Really? Put some more apple juice in the cup.
I told you this is going to last me to the end of the show, man.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
But anyway, getting back.
Only because you did the yeah.
What's up,
but, you know what, Lawrence?
Yeah.
I feel that most people will comply. And I just don't. Well, I don't know where see, if you're looking at this area here, you'll either have people who will comply or they just won't be flying. I don't know.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how
But all of it has to do with how it's rolled out and how enforcement is going to work.
It comes down to enforcement as well. You do. Yeah. You are right about that.
It's a thing right now, and nobody knows exactly how it's put together. We're just getting piecemeal.
The hearing, Draymond wanted to know. The hearing is this Friday, Draymond.
Yes, this Friday
at One Police Plaza here in Manhattan. I'm going to be there. Jeff Norman, we've already discussed meeting up, and I hope some more drone pilots show up. I'm bringing my drone, so after the hearing, or if they don't let me in the courthouse with my drone, I'm going flying.
Well, I won't be there because I'll be doing the very same thing they don't want anyone to do.
Working? This is straight out working, yeah. Yeah, so I will be there. Herman will be covering those guys' stuff, and that'll be it pretty much.
You gonna wear your shirt, Lawrence?
I'm gonna wear my Those Guys shirt. Yes, I am. I'm gonna wear my Those Guys shirt, my Those Guys hat. I'm gonna take my drone in a bag. Yes, I'm a drone pilot. I'm here to check out this case and take notes.
They're not gonna throw you out, right?
No, they're not gonna start.
You're not gonna give them any reason to throw you out, are you?
I'm not gonna say a word unless some loon Karen gets up and says, they keep peeking in my house. And I say, Your Honor, look at her. Would you look through her window?
It's not that kind of hearing.
I know. But people will get a chance to leave comments. They will definitely get a chance to leave comments. I would fly in, but you guys had a TFR this weekend already. Draymond, I would fly in. You guys have had enough TFRs this week already. Yeah, man.
You know what?
Hey, Bob Casey.
Shit. I just was wondering how far the 7x zoom could check out the fireworks.
Well, I'm sure we're gonna see some videos with guys that using that 7x zoom.
Ooh.
I'm more than sure of it. Huh?
Ooh.
They're hiding. They're creating their burner accounts now.
That's what it is. They're creating the burner accounts now.
Creating burner accounts so they can.
Now you know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? You know what this recent case of people throwing phones and stuff up on the stage at concerts? I was wondering if you went to like a concert with like 20 people, right? And y'all all got together at the same time with a burner phone and just launched it at the stage, right? It would be like machine guns
at a time.
It'd be like machine gun fire.
I know. Could you imagine with different phones? Oh, goodness.
No, I'm not encouraging anything like that.
That would be hilarious.
But I think like that.
Oh my goodness, I'd be done. I could. They'd have to carry me out on a stretcher if I saw that.
I'd be hyperventilating in the corner and laughing. And
this is what I'm saying. They would have to carry me out of there.
It'd be like they're catching machine gun fire. No, I'm not advocating for it, but it would look funny.
You see one phone, and then you see 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just before they hit the ground, another one.
Catch him in the back of the leg going down.
Right, as they try to run. Yeah. Hey, Alex Escardo, how are you, man? Welcome to the live stream. Anyway, welcome to Wednesday night with those guys.
You know what? I fail to believe that I'm the only one that thinks that that's funny.
No, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm telling you, they would have to carry me out of that place. If I saw 20 people hit the person on stage with phones, all from different angles too. Could you imagine?
No, but I wouldn't want to see it happen. But I'm just saying. You know,
I would.
No, that's somebody can get hurt.
I'm not advocating for it or throwing the phone, but it would be funny. Somebody do a spoof like that on Saturday Night Live.
Hold on, that lady got hit. I still can call her that, right? She got hit with one phone in the eye.
Yeah, right? And she had to get stitches. She got hurt.
Right. Come on. The other one got hit with a bracelet.
Yeah, with a friendship bracelet. But she kind of she pulled a Michael Jordan. You remember Michael Jordan back in the day? There was a time where he was at his peak, and if he looked at a ref or went like this, they called fouls. They go to foul line. That if you watch the video, the friendship bracelet is made out of that string cloth.
You mean LeBron?
Well, that's him present day, but Michael Jordan started it. He taught
No,
Kobe and all of them how to do it. But
what?
Michael Jordan, if you went like this with your shoulder, Michael Jordan would fly back like you elbowed him in the stomach and slide across the floor. And of course, he'd get the foul. This singer got hit with this buddy bracelet. Now, Herman, they showed it in slow-mo, and it came across the screen like this, and it would hit her headset like that, like, and she really got hit with something. I mean, it wasn't all that hard, but it was.
You know what? I'm gonna get one of them.
The chick that got hit with the phone didn't respond that bad.
Oh, I'm gonna get one of them from my niece, right? And when I see you, I'm gonna hit you dead in the eye with it and see how you respond to it. When you're not looking, not paying attention, I'm gonna throw it and hit you dead in the eye with it.
Hey, Explicit, what's good, man? How are you? Hope all is well. Steven, the flyby guys, doing big things.
No, I'm just saying, you know, if somebody like Saturday Night Live or one of them could do one like, oh, here's a good TikTok for you guys. In concert setting, persons on stage, they got the mic in their hand, and there's like 20 phones that's coming from different angles.
Right. See, that would be funny. That would definitely be funny.
Show up at a concert with like 20 of your best friends. Everybody got a burner phone from the pharmacy up the street.
Right. All the burner phone addresses go to the same post office box.
Oh,
that way no one gets in trouble.
Hey, Lawrence, you heard of DroneShield, right?
Who?
DroneShield.
Yes, I have heard of them.
Yeah, well, DroneShield.
Counter UAS company.
Yeah, them people.
Okay.
Now, this is interesting the terminology of what they use. Let's check this out. They've released what they call a DroneLocator remote ID technology detection and range.
I'm still with you.
Yeah, this is what this thing. So basically, it's a range of signal. So basically, what they're saying, and from what I'm understanding from the article I read, they announced that they released this new major firmware for their already technology that they have, that their device, right, can now detect remote ID, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is crazy. It could detect remote ID. So basically, they can detect drones in airspace.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This instrument is designed to manage, because according to what they're saying in their whole spiel is, remote ID is something that all manufacturers of these drones have to comply with. And with the need for remote ID to manage the low altitude airspace, right? We know that this is set to roll out, as we talked about previously or recently, just a few seconds ago, the 16th of this year, or September. Well, DroneShield will be using their DroneShield platform with this DroneLocator technology, as they call it. It will be able to detect drones that broadcast the remote ID and be able to detect a different range of drones, even the ones that were only able to be detected by aeroscope. which means DJI drones of all kind. Once they come into remote ID, they'll be able to detect those drones. Which at one point, like I said, Aeroscope were the ones that were able to detect them. This thing will display the drone's location, the home location of the drone, meaning the takeoff spot, the serial number of the drone. Hey, what's up, Jack? Scott, what's going on? The location of the drone pilot. So none of the information is any different. Huh?
That you're worried about losing.
What happened?
That people are worried about being revealed about them.
Oh, well, no, none of the information that that they can see or receive is any different than what anything what remote ID says that it was going to broadcast. So now with the world that we live in, right? With the world that we live in,
yeah.
And I know people are going to ask this. If they can receive this information with this device, how long can they keep this information?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
And truthfully speaking, the information of the flight, I really can't tell you how long they'll be able to keep that information.
But their excuse will probably be we'll keep holding it for logistics.
No, I get what you're saying, but it does open a can of worms for that, because I can see people asking that question now. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I believe it.
Because that is part of the issue that some people had with remote ID to begin with. And now here you have another company that's coming into the fold.
That can see you.
That's a third that can get the same information that is being received by
Aeroscope.
And maybe not detailed, but they still have the information that's necessary. Because if they can see where your drone is and where it's going, and they can see the serial number and where it took off from, and they can see where the pilot is.
It's the same information, but you have to keep into account also that we did a story on this. Aeroscope is being discontinued by DJI.
Okay.
So
because it's not necessary with remote ID.
Right. But for security purposes, if you have an infrastructure like a gas refinery, you may want to use this particular system, this drone locator.
Well, see, but the reason why I kind of disagree with you on that is because this is not. Let me go in further with you on this. This thing here is an artificial intelligence system that operates along with this drone locator. Don't play this cheap. You see, this is why I say that something like this, and when guys are, I'm not complying, we still up in the air on who and when and who can. So follow what I'm saying with this. This is an artificial intelligence system that's updated. And they can now receive remote ID information. Now, what kind of company did you say they were when we first started talking about them?
Counterdrone.
Right. So this artificial intelligence, what they call their RFAI, works in conjunction with their drone locator. And this is what is used to be able to interfere with what they call drones that are
non-remote ID compliant.
Right. Go drones that, as they say, that are not registered. Right. Drones that are not compliant with remote ID. And drones that are flying, doing illegal things. So basically,
I wanted to point something out really quick with this video that I'm showing right here. If you don't understand counter drone technology, it's all or most of it's based on frequency. This particular one has a button to block GLONASS, which is satellites. And if you notice 2.4, 5.8, 433, and 915, it's showing the frequencies that this drone operates on.
So this gets you FPV dudes.
So this can get you FPV dudes as well, once he's locked on. But when we talk about this remote ID, we have to realize people are not going to go for people flying illegally over their property in places like that.
Well, see, it's only a matter of time before this type of, I would call it a weapon.
It is a weapon.
Is not only allowed, is not, because right now, military, homeland security are technically really the only ones that are allowed to do something like this. Not even NYPD,
right, of course.
And other local municipalities, police departments are really allowed to do this. So it's only a matter of time before they are, because you remember we did a stream where we talked about they had a big show at a couple of, over at Newark Airport, and there was a couple of different shows they had throughout the country.
Yep.
Where if you had your counter UAS technology, they were taking I guess people who wanted to show what they had to get their weapon sought by the government to be used. And this is one of the ones.
There's a lot of companies.
This is one of the companies that I've seen constantly. DroneShield. So they're looking to shoot your shit down, bro. So look out.
It's not, now keep in mind, it's not so much that they're looking to shoot down your drone if you're not complying with it. What they're doing is, if you're flying around a factory, you could get in trouble flying around a factory. That's all. There's counter UAS.
Understandable, but you see, there's ways of geofencing these places that no one wants anyone to fly.
There is.
And you won't even be able to fly into it, you know. I'm like, sometimes I start to question when I hear these stories about guys dropping stuff into these jails and stuff like that, because, and here's why I say this. You talk, what kind of jails are these? Are these major prisons and stuff like that?
I don't know. We need to do.
I don't even think so. And the reason why I don't think so is because right in the city of Philadelphia, right?
Hey, Possum.
There's a prison that is not even in use anymore, and you can't fly over it.
Right, because somewhere DJI has looked at satellites.
It's not DJI. It's still in the government's list of places to geofence.
Yeah.
Now, how are guys flying over these places that are geofenced, or these places not geofenced? The Army base here in Brooklyn, the military base here in Brooklyn, Fort Hamilton, it's not geofenced.
Correct. Right, and it's active.
It's active. It's not geofenced.
Yeah.
But a juvenile detention center here in Brooklyn is geofenced.
Right. We're right.
You cannot
right next to the
cross
site we
the
work.
street.
Right next to the site we work. You cannot take off. Your drone will say
you can take off. You can't cross the street.
Yeah. But if you're in the air, you will hit the wall. The geofence. It's
Oh, yeah,
right
the
next to the
drone
site
just-
where we're working.
And we tested it. We tested geofence to see where it was located.
And where,
We
where
went
the
to
parameter
the
is.
very edge of the site and took off there, and the drone went up, and the drone was like, yo, tell them to let me go. I can't go nowhere. I can go forward, but I
Right.
can't turn around.
Right.
I can't go back. I can't go. I can go to the right and move out of
He
the
could
site.
fly out of the geofence, but you could not fly backwards into it, to the left or right, whatever
Nope.
direction you were facing. They wanted you to fly out of the geofence.
Get out.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, you can get out, but you can't operate in it.
Right. We could get to that point and take pictures. So now we know where the perimeter is. So we know, okay, we're coming up on the wall.
And honestly and truthfully speaking, where it's located, where it starts, you really can't drop anything into their compound.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's across, the geofence starts across the street. Across the street from the prison.
Technically,
in the property of the site that we're working.
Technically, when the building is finished, it'll be in someone's apartment.
Yes, Jim's droning. You can fly out, but you cannot fly into one.
You can fly into it. You can't operate in it.
Yeah, that's true. No autonomous features, and you lose functions of your drone. So your drone may just hover there.
You can fly out of it.
Yeah.
But you can't operate in it. So forget about trying to turn around and hover or try to do it. No, it won't. It won't even do a hyperlapse or anything in it. No, you can't do any of those things in it.
Yeah, but we had to find out. Inquiring minds wanted to know. No, there's a certain corner that we needed to get shots from, and we needed to take off inside the geofence, which is right on the border, actually, inside it, and go straight up, get the shot, and come back down. And Herman's drone would not come back down. It would not move left. It would not move back. It would not move, but it would move forward towards the direction of the perimeter of the geofence.
It's like it will walk you to the door, but it won't let you go into the bathroom.
Yeah. If by accident, can you turn around and fly out? Well, see, Jim's drone.
You can turn around and fly out, but you can't fly. You can't fly around in it.
Right. It'll be hindered. It depends on the drone, because I remember my Phantom 4 Pro would hit a geofence and it would slide along the perimeter.
Because it won't let you in.
Right. It would not let my Phantom 4 Pro in. Now my Mavic 3 Classic and my Air 2S can fly into a restricted airspace, but is limited. It may stop. It may.
No, there's a difference between restricted airspace and geofence.
Geofence area. Yeah, that's true. There are differences.
You understand? So, I don't know. Like I said, we took off in the geofence.
Correct.
We took off in it.
Still across the street from the prison, though.
And the drone just sat there. And it will go higher and higher, and it can go forward to get out. But it did not go left, right, turn around, it wouldn't back up, nothing. It wouldn't even land.
Nope.
Wouldn't even land back where it took off from.
Nope, it would not come back down where it took off from. It wanted to get out of the geofence area. You could fly out of it, but you could not do anything else. I mean, we got the shots we needed, but still, it was an experience.
Well, that was cool, but that's what I was looking at when I say with that. I and I don't bring this up to scare nobody, but I'm just saying there's a reason why they're pushing so much of this counter UAS technology and stuff. Like, where are they going with this?
What's up, Tony? Hope all is well.
Lawrence. So you getting that Air 3?
No.
When it comes out? No?
No.
No?
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay. Nope.
Nope. I'm happy with what I have.
So if we sell the Air 2, the Air 2S and the old Phantom 4 Pro and
Nope.
and okay, never mind. I'm gonna leave you alone because you're a guy that's still sitting on the Mavic Pro. So I'm gonna leave you alone.
All I can say is I want to see. You know, hold on. Before we go on with our next story, I want to hold on. I should play this. The views and opinions tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions.
Yeah, they are
on the panel and or in the chat. And I play that disclaimer because I want people to know this is me and my own personal opinion. But for all of you guys out there that said I'm not getting the Mavic 3, I'm waiting for the Air 3. Well, here it is. I want to see how many people are getting an Air 3.
Did you show them the box?
Oh, right here. It's looking so sexy.
Did you show them the box?
The box looks so sexy. How many of you are going to get her? Huh? I mean, come on. She's rated at maybe about $1,400, $1,500.
Is it? No, cheaper than that.
So they claim, right? Supposed to be cheaper, but
show them the box.
There's the box. She comes in with one battery, and keep in mind you get the RC2 controller with the antenna.
Look out!
You're getting this controller right here.
You know what, Lawrence? I'm gonna pass on this one.
I'm not getting it either.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna pass on this one.
Why? Because they're gonna come out with the Pro in 6 months.
I'm waiting for the 3S.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Waiting for the 3S.
You heard that first, folks. You heard it first here. Herman's gonna wait for the Air 3S.
Now you know what?
Interesting.
You know what? If I say that long enough and I keep saying it, you think there's gonna be a 3S soon? Come right after this one. This Air 3 comes out. There's gonna be a 3S coming out.
Stop.
But what happened? You think there's gonna be a 3S coming out after this comes out? Right after this comes out, like within 6 months to a year after this comes out. And you know what? When it does, because why? It'll start going around. You know what? Well, you think they're gonna come out with a 3S? And then they're gonna come out with a 3S? And DJI is gonna be like, look at them.
like the man.
Look at them. As they wait.
Herman at DJI.
And then they'll come out with it.
One of the guys is going, we'll be able to buy another island.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, Gary says he's waiting on the Air 3S Classic Pro.
Oh, here we go.
I hear you, Gary. But see, now we're catching on. People are catching
When they put what? What are they gonna put on this one? A 1-inch sensor and 2 half-inch sensors?
Or could you
7 times zoom.
7 times zoom, right? Except they take the zoom to about 9 or 10. Could you imagine?
No. You can't beat the flagship bird.
Always said the airline just upgraded Mavics. None resemble the original Air.
No, I'm just saying, dude, this is where we go with this stuff, and it gets ridiculous after a while, and we don't realize we do it to ourselves.
And then Frank Rizzo says, after you got the Air 3S Classic Pro Advanced, then you wish you waited for the Mini 4.
You know what's sad about that?
What's that?
Because they'll be coming out with the Mavic 4 right after that. And if you live here in New York, you'll spend $4,000 to fly in the park.
True.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
No, but you know,
we shall see. We shall see.
That's where it goes with this thing. You know, it just seems like just yesterday we were talking about the Air 2S.
It was.
Right? This was the best. This was the best drone out there for the money. Everyone, including myself, did the video on how this was the best, and it was. It was. And it probably still is. And now we're waiting on a third one to replace it.
Avata.
Here we go. Why don't you just get a break from the sponsors and get it over with?
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a good idea. Very good idea.
For drone news and tech talk, tune in on Wednesday nights, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to Wednesday Night with Those Guys.
Okay.
Whose guys is this?
I got it out my system.
Let me ask you this. Who are the guys they talking about?
Huh?
Who are the guys they talking about?
Well, some those guys. Some guys they call those guys.
Oh, that's right.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Oh. You were flying with those guys? Oh, shit.
Yeah, right? I remember that statement. Oh, you were hanging out with those guys.
I'm going to watch it to the fucking...
Avata 3+. Don't start no rumors, Jims. Avata 3+. They're already working on it.
Uh-oh. See, look at it. See, somebody... See, Gary drunk already.
Hashtag XO. Yeah.
Gary drunk already. Flying
Exxon gas.
Flying them drones that don't fly straight. That's junk stock, Gary. 3 owners in 1 calendar year. That's junk stock.
Yeah, Gary, don't drink the cheap liquor. The cheap liquor is XO. Get the good stuff. Avata.
No, the cheap liquor is the VS liquor.
Oh shit. Yeah, right. Yeah, we unfortunately had to choose work over play, Tony, for this Saturday. He was saying he missed us this weekend.
Oh.
But we had to choose work over play.
You know what?
I don't mind, but the intention was, Tony,
the TFR
to go shoot the job and then head up there by you guys, but we got delayed and wind up doing another job on top of that. So
the TFR from the Thursday, Friday,
yeah,
messed up my schedule.
My XO flies fine.
So I had to work Saturday.
Video though, because it's an XO, Gary. He says my XO flies fine.
Gary,
in video though.
You know what, Lawrence? I saw on Twitter, right? Dobo walks over to the trash can and dumps the Skydio in the trash can.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I have to see.
Dump it in the trash can, Gary. Don't worry about it. Don't even think twice.
Yeah, right.
What's going on, Lawrence? What's going on?
Welcome back, Jody. Not a whole lot.
Joby is back.
Not a whole lot. I see him starting to lean in his chair, drinking.
You heard me? Lean in the chair from what?
The Jody's back.
No, I didn't say Jody. I said Joby.
Oh, Joby.
Joby is back. The FAA green-lighted their Joby's flight testing campaign. So basically, Joby announced in a simple little get-together, as you would call it, of a team of reporters and writers and film crews and everything like that, to announce that they received approval from the FAA for flight testing of the eVTOL air taxi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
This is their third vehicle.
Well, oh, no, not to cut you off, but Joby, Joby has been granted from the FAA. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Joby. Joby is a California-based company, and they have received a special airspace worthiness certificate that has authorized Joby to conduct flight testing. Their flight testing campaign, as I should say, because they have a series of tests that they have to do to get their certificate. They're a little bit behind Archer and a few of the other companies that we mentioned, but they're on their way. Joby, like I said, they have to perform a series of tests, but they're on the way, and the largest holder, think about it, holds 4 million in stake in the company. Toyota is estimated as their largest stakeholder. You know that, Lawrence? Toyota? Did you know that?
I didn't realize that until I saw the.
Well, yeah, I did, but they never made it a big deal until now. Because here's why. with the announcement of this from the FAA, their stock moved a little bit of they say it shot up to 26% on their stock because we mentioned right here on Wednesday night with those guys when they went public. Was it last September, if I'm not mistaken? Or was it was September before last, because EHang had already gone public.
Right. Gary had just asked how EHang is doing. Hold on a second, Gary. EHang, believe it or not.
Why do you do this, Gary?
Okay, EHang's down for the day, but they're
Tell
up.
them how Joby's doing. Or Joby, I can say.
Joby is up for the day. Joby has been up for the last 3 months.
Right, because they jumped 26% on the market due to this announcement from the FAA.
Actually, he's been up for the year, but for the day, hold on, I got to pull this up so I can see the screen here. But for the day,
you're gonna pull up the stocks.
Yeah, for the day she was doing Joby.
Well, can't see that.
Joby's in the green.
No one can see that.
Good. Then you don't see how much money I've invested.
No one can see that.
Good. That's what that would. Then you couldn't see how many shares I had. But all in all, Joby's up, Archer's up, Lilium's up. EHang is down for the day. For the week, she's up. So today, EHang's a little low. EHang is going for $16.36 a share.
Has it done anything?
Has it? Yeah, she's been going up as well.
I'm gonna tell you why it's plateauing a little bit.
EHang and all of them?
No, EHang hasn't had it's the first. There isn't any more major strides right now for it to take. It's still new novelty across the world.
It seems EHang does seem to be leveling off. If you go for 3 months, it was at a lull. She went up a little, and now she seems to be leveling off again.
Joby and these people are making strides right now, so their stakeholders are buying more shares and shit, getting it while it's cheap.
On product development, Gary, EHang,
hold on a minute,
doing okay because they're already.
How much is it selling for now on Joby?
How long have they been around?
No. How much is it a share right now?
For Joby?
Yeah.
Right now, Joby per share is $10.81 a share.
Whoa.
They're up 12. They're up 46 cents for the day.
How much was it when you bought it?
After stock exchange is closed, after hours, they're still up in the green by 12 cents.
How much was it when you bought it?
When I brought Joby, I think for about $5 or $6 a share. Now it's $10.81. Yeah. Now it's $10.81 a share.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And these guys.
Same thing with eHang. Right now, eHang
400 million.
Hold on. eHang is $16.36 a share. When I brought eHang, I brought eHang for about $4 to $5 a share.
And Toyota's got 400 million invested.
And they just added 400 million. So yeah, let's see where Joby
shoots. No. They have 400 million invested.
Oh, okay. Hey, Jerry Franks, what's good, man? How are you? We appreciate you stopping by.
That blows my $1,000.
Production line, Gary, they're doing great. They're producing their E-16s. They are in full production. They're trying to get their drones flown in other countries around Asia.
That blows my $1,000 right out the water.
What happened?
That blows my $1,000 right out the water. Like they didn't even see my boat in the water. I was like a piece of wood off a splinter.
Driftwood, right?
Yeah.
Driftwood, right? Yeah. Those. Well, listen.
Whoa.
I'm hoping that they keep on shooting up. Right now, for 2 stocks that I brought.
Well, that's why I said if they're gonna take away the airspace, you might as well capitalize on the shit.
Yeah, might as well, right? I fly in New York.
You didn't hear it from me.
I could fly with some stock. I can't fly in New York. I got stock in that bitch right there going over my head. That's why I can't fly right now. You see that?
You know what you look like doing that? That guy that's like, he started a drone business and they came in and they got big commercial drone delivery all over the place. And you just walk in the street aimlessly, sipping on that bottle of wine, talking about, you see that right there? Got stuck in that shit right there. I got stuck in that right there. Yeah, boy, you don't know.
Right? Nobody listening to me.
I used to fly those. You don't know.
Yeah, right? Could you imagine?
Millionaires sitting in the park, drunk as shit.
Homeless with stock, drinking.
Yeah.
6:31, Herm.
Oh, wow. Let's keep it moving.
It's that time.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to get this one last thing in here because what I really thought this, I got to get out of here, but I thought this was very important and very interesting. There's a drone, well, I wouldn't say they're a drone company because a Japanese company showcased a way of inspecting wind turbines without stopping them.
Yeah.
Now I thought this was funny, not funny, but very interesting because this was done at I so badly want to pronounce this, but I think I might pass.
Are we talking about Tsukaba?
No, at the Tsukaba.
No, that's Tsukaba. They don't pronounce the T. It's Tsukaba.
Tsukaba.
Silent.
The Tsukaba Forum, right? Held in Japan, right? The Tokyo-based Nippon Telegraph and Telephone Technology Corporation, that they perform this. I thought this was really interesting, and I don't have any video of it. There was a picture we had of it, and I thought this was crazy. And I checked out what they do.
I got the picture right here. I'm pulling it up now. Keep going.
It is really amazing what this is. They don't have to stop the wind turbine, right? What they do is they take 2 drones, right, autonomously, and They have
This is the best drawing. Sorry, guys.
Small commercial radio, right?
Right.
And what they do with the frequency and the radios, they create what is called a funnel zone.
That's the green area.
And with this, they can find out if there's any defects to the wind turbine of any kind, the mechanism as well as the blades on the props on the wind turbine.
The kernel zone can detect imperfections and cracks in the prop, as well as the motor.
I thought that was amazing.
As well as the motor being out of tune.
Yes. I thought that was so amazing when reading that story. And the reason why the push, I hate to cut you off, Lawrence, but the reason why they pushed for this so much is because Japan has invested so much in wind power, because they're talking about over 3,600 new wind turbines in farms by 2040. So this is a technology that they have to push, and they have to find ways of being able to do this safely and quickly to the best of their ability. Now, what were you saying there, Lawrence?
No, it's just interesting how I have to pull the picture back up, but it's interesting how now they can take radio frequencies and measure shit.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
Because not only is it measuring the imperfections in the actual props, but it can measure whether the motor's running at optimum speed, temperature, etc., without stopping them. Because you know how much money it costs to send a man to each one of these poles and stop it? He's got to climb it, get up there. Well, they can stop it from the bottom, but most of the time, if they
don't have an elevator in those things.
No, none of these things. Everything is stairs, bro. Come on. Could you imagine if they had elevators? That's why these guys get paid so much damn money to climb these damn things.
Oh, damn. That's like the cranes.
Uh-huh. Yep. That's the only way you can get up in the cab of that crane. But Herman, it's that time.
Yeah, I know. Guys, I gotta cut it short tonight. I gotta make a run. Gotta take care of some family stuff. I hope everyone had a great 4th of July, and we appreciate you all for coming and hanging out with us. There's going to be some other live streams on this evening. Please go and check them out. I appreciate you all for coming and hanging out with us right after the 4th of July. Maybe some of you are still away and with your families, and you took your time out to come and hang out with us and listen to
we appreciate you.
Something we talk about. We really do appreciate you guys. And with
lasted to the end, Herman.
Huh? Because you was sipping like a little punk. With that, like I said, we thank you guys, and we'll see you again. Next week? And with that,
next week we'll let you know what happened. I'll let you know what happened with the court case this Friday.
Yes, please let everyone know. And I'll see you next time
with those guys.
Good night, everyone.
Avada.